Hi everyone. So today we're covering the follow-up to our first master's class, which is based on class number 1 covering light. Now, was hoping to get more images, but time has not cooperated with me. But I did get 3 images from different lighting situations, and we're going to go over that today and how we're going to correct for one of those. So our first image here is just still life of some fruit. This was full sun, midday, um, and while the image isn't really blown out, it is heavily saturated with light on the one side of the fruit, as you can tell. So on another day I shot earlier, I only had a single piece of fruit. So we're gonna move over to that image now. Here we go. And as you can tell, this image was taken at a different time of day, but it's still a little overexposed, as you can tell here. And then finally, today, we had rain. Unfortunately, I'm also out of fruit, so we've substituted our little toy lister here. And what we have is a much softer light today. And of course, we have a pair of sliding glass doors that are facing north. So, and there's about a 2-foot overhang from the roof. So these doors really do act as a very nice softbox. But as you can tell, on a cloudy day, I'm getting almost perfect lighting, natural lighting. And I took this in the morning. This was at approximately 9 a.m. in the morning. Not quite the golden hour light, but because the windows are on the north side, it really doesn't matter. I'll never get direct sunlight into this room. But as a consequence, anytime it's cloudy, I'm going to have really, really good light in which to take pictures here. Now, with that being said, how do I compensate for this? Well, it's relatively simple. We will underexpose the image. Probably we only need like 1 stop. So on our exposure compensation dial, we will set this to -1, which should clean up the light and not blow out the highlights on these other images. So anyway, much beyond that, your camera is going to compensate, like I said, with the exposure compensation dial. It's going to do a great deal of compensation to get the correct exposure. Okay. So here we have our 9 images representing various times and lighting conditions in a day. Now, I was not able to get all the images that I wanted. It only rained once here, and that was the only day we had any kind of clouds at all. Every other day has been crystal clear. Imagine that, Sunshine State. Anyway, so we'll start with our first image here. This was technically blue hour. There was a lot of blue and pink light in the sky. And for the record, uh, only the images of Lister and the fruit have been modified in any way, and those have only been cropped. No other adjustments have been made on any of these pictures. The exterior pictures nothing's been done to those. So here's our outdoor sofa. Blue hour, there's some pink that's reflected in the cushions. And now we're going to move on to Mr. Lister, who was also shot during the blue hour. He looks kind of surprised here. But as you can see, very, very minimal light coming in through the sliding glass door. Here's a different angle. Again, this is blue hour. The light from outside, because the slider is acting like a softbox, the color is definitely not necessarily reflected in these indoor images. And then about 15 minutes later, we actually moved into the quote unquote gold hour. And as you can see, the exterior sofa here has actually brightened up. It's lost kind of the pink shades that were present previously. And then we go back inside and shoot Lister, and he definitely has more light on him. But other than that, there's not a huge amount of difference. Here's another angle. Again, this is gold hour, using the slider as a softbox here. So, you know, nice, well-exposed image. You know, and one thing is even given the differences of light that these are being shot in, the camera makes adjustments to try and correctly expose for the images. So you do have to consider that. Now, all of these were set with white balance set on sunlight. So, and these were all shot on the Panasonic Lumix S1 R Mark II using the 50mm f1.4 S Pro lens, and they were shot at f1.4. Okay, so moving on. Okay, now here you can tell a difference. This is full noonday sunlight. There's way more light coming in, and it's harsher light, and you can kind of tell that in this image of the fruit. And then again, full sun midday, and in fact it's so bright it actually has blown out the skin of the apple on this, and I did not correct any of this. Now, in theory, there's not a whole lot I can do about the light blowout on the apple in post-production. Now, had I did an exposure correction in camera, then this could have drastically changed. But all of these were shot at ISO 100, except for the blue hour. I actually pushed the ISO up to 400, just so I didn't pick up any camera shake um, in the images when I was trying to take them. So because the shutter is definitely going to slow down in these darker lighting conditions. I mean, as you can see, you can just barely make out the foliage and the fence in the background during the blue hour. We get to the gold hour, and there's improvement there, but it's not huge. So those were taken at ISO 800. Anyway, so that's it. Um, you know, I do have a couple of these posted on X with the hashtag SCISMFOP. If you would like to post your own images out there, I'd be more than happy to look at them and actually show those on YouTube. So, anyway, thank you for watching and have a great week.